Hugh Hefner, a true American icon, created an empire that was unrivaled.
Although some of his bunnies may have gone rogue, it's because of the love and respect that we received from the man behind it all.
The Rogue Bunnies' mission is simple: 100 Playmates taking control of their valuable IP while honoring Hef's iconic Playboy style and bringing that experience to our collectors.
Like only we know how, because after all, we did learn from the best.
Relive the stories from the most prominent celebrity home in history.
From those of us that lived it,
The employees that worked it,
and the guests who loved it.
and
The mayhem continues.
Wow, Scott, dude, we're doing it.
Right?
This
Did
is
you
it.
believe it?
Everyone just tuning in right now. I am
was
so
good.
excited to be back on the mic. 7.5 years
Yep.
on Playboy Radio. Mansion Mayhem literally has to be one of the biggest highlights of my life. I got to do it with Pilar Lastra. I got to do it with Raquel Pomplin, Danny Mathers. And then, of course, I mean, we've got Jen Pershing, who was always jumping in.
Right.
Kimberly Phillips, who was always jumping
Yep.
in.
Yep.
So many of my Playmate friends that were part of that show, and we had so much fun. And then it just was done. And I'm going to be honest, it's been like one of those things that's just been
Yep.
sitting there in my gut going, is it over? Are we done?
Yeah, and there's a weird, there's a void.
Yeah. By the way, for anyone listening in and you're going, what's that noise in the background? We're at the big Rogue Bunnies launch. It's an NFT company that's been put together by a bunch of Playmates that have gone rogue. So everyone's telling me, you know, I give big credit to Jessica Hall. Jessica Hall, who has her show Flashbacks.
Yep.
She's like, Brian, why aren't you back behind the mic? And I go, because I don't know what to do. And then I got this beautiful phone call from my real sweet, dear lovely friend, Miss January 1996, Victoria Fuller.
Welcome to the show, Victoria.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome to your show. You're the one that
Yeah.
got us getting this started.
You got a point
Thank you. So you reached out to me, for everyone that's listening, and started telling me about Rogue Bunnies.
Yep.
And you've been working on this now for what, 2 years?
Just under 2 years.
So people have been asking, what is the metaverse? What are NFTs?
Well, let's start with what's an NFT. NFT stands for non-fungible token. And just to break that down, fungible refers to how the worth of something. So if you have a $5 bill and I have 5 single dollar bills, we can trade those. They're fungible. But
Right,
if
okay.
something's not fungible, that means there's nothing of the same value that you can trade for it. So when you're talking about a token, it has a value that we place on it and people pay for it, but there's nothing that you can trade straight across from it, right? So it's non-fungible.
Hey, help me understand this world. You know, it's funny. I actually got together with, Cooper Hefner, right?
Yes, yes.
And when we had heard about what you were starting up in the NFT, and we went to dinner, and I was sitting there, bro, I know I'm old. I don't get it.
It's
What's
okay.
this metaverse? What's NFTs? How do you make money on it? And people are buying things that you can't hold? Because
So,
again,
yeah.
I'm old. So
It's a digital asset. It's ledgered to a blockchain, and the ledger states authenticity, scarcity, ownership. And so what's important about that is anybody that's a creator of that NFT, which is why artists have flocked to this, is that when I create an NFT and I put it on the blockchain and it sells to the next person, the next person, the next person, there's something called a smart contract that's built into the coding.
Contract.
A smart contract. So what happens is, whatever I designate, say it's 5-7%, every time that NFT sells for the life of the NFT, that money will go directly into the original wallet it was created from. So I will be paid every time that art piece sells, and I will know who owns it, how much they sold it for, everything, because it's all ledgered and it's very transparent on the blockchain. Now this gives artists control over their content. Whether you're a musician, think about that, or where you're an artist, you know exactly where your art's going, and you receive those royalties. When I'm with a gallery, they sell a piece of artwork, I don't know who buys it, I don't know where it goes, it disappears forever, I never see it again.
Yep.
I am in touch with my art for the rest of the life of that NFT.
that's huge.
In perpetuity. So I'm going to make money off those NFTs for however long it circulates. So that's what's
This
important
is a
about it.
wholesale
See,
change.
Scott's the brains of the show.
Wow. Well, we're in bad shape. We are in some deep shit right now. Then
All right.
everybody knows. We all realize that the value of any given asset is largely based on rarity and
Yep.
uniqueness.
Yep. And scarcity. So if it's,
Thank you.
the more unique it is, just like anything, an original painting's worth more than than a print, obviously, because it's a multiple original, right? So let me give you an analogy here. So I like to use this example. So people often go, why would I want to have this digital asset, pay all this money for, when I could just go take a screen capture? I can own Justin Bieber's Bored Ape NFT. Well, if you go into the Louvre and you visit the Mona Lisa, know that Mona Lisa is real. It's on the wall. It's got the signature. It's real. Right. You can go into the gift shop and you can buy the Mona Lisa as a poster and take it home and frame it, but nobody's going to believe that that's the Mona Lisa. Why? Because it doesn't have the official's signature on it. We all know it's a poster. So it's the same thing with NFTs. When you own that NFT, it's ledgered that you're the owner of that NFT on the blockchain, and no matter who says they own it, the proof is right there on the blockchain. Nobody can change it. You cannot change the blockchain.
And remember, there's no transaction that happens on the blockchain without everybody agreeing. That's part of the technology.
Wait, what do you mean? Whoa, backtrack that. What?
So I say I want to sell something for 1 ETH. 1 ETH is right now $1,300.
Oh, okay.
So each coin is $1,300. So say I want to sell something for 1 ETH. I say, okay, it's for 1 ETH. They say, okay. They transfer that money into my wallet. Usually it's through a marketplace, which does this transaction for you, and that's basically how it goes.
Well, and that transaction, and this is the security and the power of the blockchain, that transaction is recorded across multiple machines on this giant network.
You can't change it.
Well, you could potentially change it on one machine,
but
all
you'd
the
have to
others
change
would
it on the millions of other machines all around the world.
They all have to agree.
Yeah, they all have to agree.
Okay, so you discover this new world, and you're an artist. I mean, for those that everyone should probably know, but let's say those that don't know, right? Say you have a lot of fans out there; they know you as being a playmate,
right?
But you've been an artist you started what? 20? Longer?
Yeah, well, when Hef gave me my licensing contract in 2000 is basically when my art career launched as a professional artist. So it's been since then.
I used to love always to having the events at the mansion, and you always would have your art.
I'd always have it there. You guys always help me.
One of my favorite pieces is up in the gallery right now, and it's the one where Hef is with the big bunny.
The airplane.
Yes, it's huge. Matter of fact, I remember when they were doing some auctions and stuff like that, and one of my friends, Dave Oken, actually got to purchase one of the pieces, and it's like his prized possession that sits up in his home.
That's so cool.
It's amazing. But okay, so now this is a way for you to expand your art, from what I understand.
So I got into NFTs through a friend in 2017, and I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. And it took me a couple years to kind of accept that maybe this was something I should get into. So 2 years ago, I got on an app called Clubhouse, and I started learning about NFTs and just educating myself and just learning as much as I can. And I thought, I'll just put my artwork out there. But then being a solo artist, I've done that already. And this is a global community. And so I just thought it would be so great if I could create something bigger than myself. And so I got the idea that, with the way Playboy is now and their target audience has changed and the Playmates don't have a real home, Hef is gone, I thought, how great would it be to create a brand separate and apart from Playboy, utilizing all of the IP of the most beautiful, amazing Playmates, and take control of that intellectual property using blockchain technology to re-enter ourselves into a community to access our fans. And we don't have to ask anybody. We are in control of it, and we can create our own community where we can connect, like Hef did, with a global community using music, art, and culture, and creating value through the community and in real life events like this and in the metaverse, and gamifying the entire project on top of that, making it fun on top of everything was, I just thought it was the way to go.
I like that you mentioned, that you are doing this also, not by yourself, you're doing this with a bunch of Playmates. A lot of the bunnies.
Yeah.
And you've gone rogue.
And
I want to talk about that.
And we'll be talking to a lot of the bunnies coming up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one thing I want to touch back on, you mentioned that the bunnies don't have a home now with the Playboy Mansion.
Yes.
No longer being the Playboy Mansion.
Well, we're creating a new home called the Rogue Mansion, and it's both in real life. It'll be multiple places. It won't be just one place. And in the metaverse will be.
Wait a second. We need to talk about my Adopt-A-Bunny program.
Well, we're going to talk about Adopt-A-Bunny.
After this break.
And we're going to talk about the metaverse because we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You are listening to Rogue Bunnies Mayhem.
Hey, listeners, Victoria Fuller here, entrepreneur, artist, and of course forever Miss January 1996. If you're like me and many others, I'm missing the fun-filled days of a magical world built by a true innovator. I think you know who I'm talking about. Well, you're in for a treat because my bunny sisters and I have joined forces, or should I say, have gone rogue, to revamp the heydays while exploring the future. Yes, I'm talking about the metaverse. So come join me and our sorority of the sexiest ladies on the planet. I promise you won't be disappointed. To join the party, find us at roguebunnies.com. That's ROGUEBUNNIES.com. Connecting collectors to the most beautiful women on the blockchain.
Welcome to the metaverse.
Hi, this is Eugenia Washington, Playmate of the Year 2016.
And the mayhem continues. We were just talking about what Rogue Bunnies is. Thank you, Victoria. You've actually been schooling me. I've been so confused. I know when you reached out and said, "Hey, you want to help us with this event?" And I'm like, "How about we do a podcast?" We're doing it. We're doing
if
this.
I come to this event, am I doing this on my computer or where are we doing this?
You know, but what I loved about it, and the real reason why I jumped up right away is because when you said, "Look, me and a bunch of our sisters are getting together," and we've always said, Playboy, the Playboy that we came from is a family.
It is.
It's still a family, and we're connected forever.
We are.
And we will always support each other when you're like, wait a minute, I want to help this. I want to be able to be part of this. And so that's what we're doing. So please tell me, can you name off the Playmates that you currently have? And I know you're going to be reaching out to more. And,
So
and I'm sure they're excited.
Playmates.
Like, here's another platform.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And it just not only just bringing us back together, but giving us all an opportunity to reconnect with our fans and community and our Playboy family alike. So Angel Boris, Karen McDougal.
Yes.
Terry Harrison.
Wow.
Jennifer Pershing. I'm going to screw this up. I mean, there's so many. Oh, my God. There's so many. Lisa Durgan.
Oh, my God. I haven't seen Lisa
I
forever.
know. Lisa
Is she gonna be
Durgan.
here tonight?
Renee Tennyson.
Really?
Yep. Ulrika Erickson. So many new girls, too. So many of the newer bunnies.
How many bunnies would you say are with you right now?
I don't know how many are coming tonight. Of course, they were all invited. But
Well, within your Rogue Bunnies metaverse.
Oh, that are currently, 100 Playmates.
Wow.
100 bunnies. So what's happening is I was lucky enough to get in front of Dapper Labs. Dapper Labs they do the NBA, NFL, UFC. There were $7.5 billion. They created the NFT. They wrote the code. And they basically wrote the term non-fungible token, NFT. And they are truly an amazing company to be with, amazing brand. They're all about gamifying, trading cards, everything. And like with the NBA Top Shots hit $1 billion market cap after a year and a half. So I got in front of the vice president and I did my pitch, and she was a lovely woman, and she says, "When do you want to start?" And I was so excited. There's not a lot of women in the Dapper portfolio. It's all sports and men. And so they were all too happy to have us come in. And so our partnership is all about, so we have these trading cards that's gamified. And it's going to be the 100 Playmates. And each girl has multiple cards. And they're really exciting. And it's photography, but then art is put on top of the photography. Okay. So we're painting on the clothing and this kind of thing.
What do you mean painting on the clothes?
So
it's like a color forms thing where you can buy a piece of art and
because
you can
I didn't want to
put outfits?
I didn't want to just do a piece of photography, right? So I wanted to take the photography and add something to it that was artistic. So I drew on with me and another artist. We drew on all the clothing. So we made it fun. So it looks like it's painted on, and so there's different levels. So there's common, uncommon, rare.
I saw Karen post something where it was like her picture, but there was
dots.
But there was okay, all right, I got it.
So a common card would be really a simple, just 2 colors, line drawing. An uncommon would be a little bit more detail, and then a rare card would look, fully detailed and everything. And then there's a legendary card and an epic card, and those are the big top end cards. But so we started challenges. I mean, there's so much going on, it's crazy, but we started challenges already. And so anybody that buys any of our NFTs of these, they start at $10 for a pack of 5, so it's very reasonable. Anybody can go on to roguebunnies.com, use their credit card, their debit card. Any grandma can go on with their debit card, and you go into the marketplace, and when you go to purchase, you just put your credit card in and you purchase the $10 pack, and it asks you for your email and whatever. It populates your wallet for you. You don't have to get a crypto wallet and all these things. Dapper does it all for you. It's all in USD, so you never see the crypto flow, which is the blockchain they're on. And so anybody can go and buy these trading cards. And once you get the trading, it's very addictive, actually. Once you get these trading cards, you can get into these challenges, which is automatically populates in your wallet, these challenges that we have started. It'll tell you which cards you have, which cards you don't, which cards you need. And when you win, there's multiple winners, you can get a prize. So that's kind of one of the things we're doing. And if you are a token holder, you can go into our Discord and into our token gated area, which is private for only holders, and that's where all the Playmates are. And they're 24 hours a day. You can log in and talk to the girls, and that's where we are. And that's the beginning of it.
We should go ahead. We should give that website out again, roguebunnies.com. Now, because I'm a simpleton, I don't know how to spell rogue.
I know, and people get rogue wrong. It's
R-O-G-U-E.
Kind of like the big banner behind us.
Rogue
Yes.
Bunnies, B-U-N-N-I-E-S, roguebunnies.com.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to ask this. I know we had talked a little bit, but for the audience that doesn't know the background, so originally it was going to be Rogue Playmates, correct?
It was going to be Rogue Playmates really early on. Playboy had a real problem with that, and it's understandable. Yeah, it's understandable.
Because they're also creating NFTs.
They created NFTs, and in fact, I was on their first set of NFTs.
Check you out.
May 4th of 2021. They had 6 different NFTs they put out. I was on one of them.
And again, we got to say, we're still all a big fan. So, we
I love Playboy, and I think they're doing great things.
But you're doing your own thing.
But I'm doing my own thing, and, obviously I'm not in control of what they put out, which was my entire naked body, but whatever, it was a nice picture.
Brett, let's be sure to insert a really nice sound effect of applause right there.
Literally my ass.
Like a stadium worth of applause.
So
I remember I saw that it was a Gatesfold thing. Remember, I've been following this along the way, and I'd happened to talk to Cooper. Go, have you heard about this? Because I get excited about any of our family doing anything. Yeah. And curious to see how they're moving forward.
Well, the company
Rogue Bunnies,
I
thought was genius.
Well, the company I started is called Gatefold Labs.
Right.
And Gatefold Labs is the parent company, which is all the NFT projects that I will be coming out with will be under Gatefold Labs. Rogue Bunnies is the first. But, the Rogue Playmates was too close to Playboy. They didn't like it. And I said, you know what, you're okay. And it's totally fine. Yeah. So I changed it to Rogue Bunnies, and we're trademarked. Gatefold is also trademarked. And so I just thought, you know what, it's really actually better because it is our own thing. I mean, we really want to be, if we want to be separate and apart, let's really be separate and apart and not use their intellectual property of any kind. And then there's many other verticals going on. We're a cross-chain, multi-metaversal, women-led project, meaning we're not just on one blockchain, we're on multiple blockchains. So currently we're on Flow and we're on Ethereum blockchain. So we have 2 projects that have launched already. The one that's on Ethereum, which is the most popular blockchain for people to buy NFTs on, we put out a very small collection that are just VIP, super VIP, and there was 13 of them, all modeled after Playmates, and we auctioned them off one at a time. They sold out. Mine sold for $6,000. So they exceeded our expectations.
And this is where the barrier to entry is not $6,000.
No, that was a very special NFT, a one of one.
You are a very special.
Well,
you are an artist and a work of art yourself.
Well, those were one of ones, and those were very special high-end NFTs that we just put out for our community, and they all sold right away.
But we want to emphasize that anybody can get into this.
Anybody can get into this because it's $10 for just the one pack, which you'd be surprised. All the bunnies, I thought, I don't know if they're going to get too involved. They've been buying the packs. We're all doing the challenges with the community. It's super fun. I mean, it's just super fun. It's just really exciting. And so we have a community where we're all competing and we're talking, and there's a secondary market now. So we buy these packs, they go on the secondary market, and if we don't have this card or that card, we buy, so we're all buying and selling. I've made money off of the cards that I've bought already, so putting them out for sale and stuff. Good. So it's been really cool. I mean, it's moving. It's moving
amazing
along.
adventure.
That's like I'm saying. It's a sea change.
And this is the future.
Absolutely.
Let's just to be honest, this is the future.
Well, the NFT is going to be utilized for so many different things. It's already, Dapper Labs is already partnered with Instagram, just to name one, and they've also partnered with a movie theater chain, and I don't know if it's AMC or which one it is, but it's a huge deal where NFTs are going to be the ticket. So
Whoa, that's huge.
Yep. And that's Dapper Labs. So Dapper Labs is coming onto the mainstream big time. People are going to start hearing about them more and more. Anybody in NFT knows who Dapper Labs is, but people that don't know, obviously wouldn't be familiar with the name, but they're about to go super mainstream. Yeah.
So everyone that's listening right now is going, how do I get these cards?
Yeah.
How do I get started? I mean, you have literally just schooled, thousands of, not hundreds of thousands of people listening right now.
Awesome.
And I'm sure they're going, okay, so what do I do? What do I do, Victoria? How do I get in?
Well, if you want to be part of our community, and you can go to roguebunnies.com and you can buy NFTs. You could also go to our Discord and check it out. It's free to go to the Discord. If you want to get in the token gated area, then you have to buy some NFTs, and then you can come into the private area where all the bunnies are and come and hang out. And we have poker nights, we have poker challenges. Yes, we've partnered with a poker.
What?
Yes, we've partnered with Crypto Hold'em, the #1 poker NFT group, and we do poker tournaments. They're so fun. We have cash prizes we give away.
I think Scott's over there ready to jump on a poker table.
Well, actually, I'm going to ask, Brian, can I borrow $10?
And so
I got you spotted, bro.
Thank you.
So
I got a 20.
So it's all on your, the app is on your phone that you can log into and you get into it. And then we go to the Discord and we're on a back channel, and it's an audio thing. So while we're playing, which you can't hear anything, we talk shit about all the players and stuff. And then we've been caught. So they come into our Discord and they've caught us and they don't tell us who they are, and we're talking about them on the table. We've made the best friends this way. It's been awesome. And people are winning prizes and winning Ethereum and all kinds of different things we do. There's a lot of engagement with our project. We're constantly engaging our community and creating prizes and fun things for them to win and do, and as if being around the bunnies wasn't fun enough, that we're just continuing to create more content for them to engage with.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We got one last segment. I really want to touch on some stuff.
Okay.
Once again, tell people where they can go to get started.
Yep.
And that's at
roguebunnies.com, ROGUE, by the way.
We are Rogue Bunnies Mayhem. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Victoria Fuller, entrepreneur, artist, and of course forever Miss January 1996. My bunny sisters and I have joined forces, or should I say, gone rogue, to revamp the heydays while exploring the future. So come join me and our sorority of the sexiest ladies on the planet. I promise you won't be disappointed. To join the party, find us at roguebunnies.com. That's ROGUEBUNNIES.com. See you there.
Welcome to the metaverse.
The mayhem continues.
Wow, I am just like, I'm overwhelmed.
It's difficult to overwhelm you. I've seen you.
It's just that I'm really like heartfelt in the sense of the people that I've been running into, Victoria. I can't thank you enough for allowing us to be part of this.
By the
because
way,
it feels like we're back at the backyard of the Playboy Mansion. And again, we're saying this isn't a Playboy show. This is a Rogue Bunnies show. But we can't just knock off the fact that we were part of something amazing.
Right.
We really were, and we'll be family forever. So
forever.
Yeah, we are going to talk about things that we were part of and things that we loved, such as the Playboy Mansion parties, which it feels like I'm running into butlers and security.
Yep.
Of course, the Playmate sisters are all here. I mean, so much staff and friends and the guests that I used to see week after week, they're all here.
I know.
And it feels so cool, and I'm excited that you're going to be doing more and more of these events.
That's right.
And I'm saying, everyone out there, just keep listening, keep following, follow Rogue Bunnies, because there's going to be more and more events. And if you never got to taste what it was like to be at the mansion, Victoria, you're recreating it.
Yes.
You're recreating it.
Amazing.
Now, speaking of that, can you think about any story you'd love to share that, thinking back, like, for you, when you first went to the Playboy Mansion, like, what it was like for you for the first party?
Well, so I was the first party I went. Well, he was married at the time, right? So it was right at the end of
Kimberly.
with Kimberly, and so it was New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Eve, my first party, and I was the January issue. So the January issue comes out the month before. So I was on the tables, and I was in the great haul, and they said, don't talk to Hef, whatever, and he was married, and just be respectful. And so I see him ascend down the stairway, and I see him, and I'm like, oh no, he's here. And I stopped, and I thought, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right here. And I was, And so he came down, and he was waiting for Kimberly to come down. He was kind of standing there, and he kept looking at me, and I kept looking at him, and we were looking at each other. And I was told not to approach him, so I didn't. And then Kimberly was about to come down, and he started to walk away, and I grabbed his arm, so I thought, oh, this is it. I go, Hef? And he goes, oh, hi, darling. And I go, hi, I'm Victoria Fuller. And he goes, oh, darling, I know who you are. And I just, I almost fainted. Like the rest of the night, I was like, he knows who I
am. That's so cool.
It was the best
first feeling, because I can remember first time, working at the mansion, which I started there in '96, October '96. So your year, and I remember the first time he walked out into that backyard, and I was just like, oh my God, there he is. There he is.
I was so mesmerized. I was still starstruck with him even up until his last days. There's something about Hef that's so special and so amazing, but even though I was so mesmerized with him, he made me feel like I was his friend, like instantly. And there was just something about him that you can't not love him. Well, we can't not love him, but there's so much to him that he's got an energy about him. And I'll never forget that moment. And thank God I was dressed up. I had a gown on. I felt really good, and I just was like on top of the world.
I've said to Scott, I've said to everyone, even for me, I had the 7.5 year run on Playboy Radio. I owe it all to Hef. I owe everything to Hef. My entire career.
He was so generous with his brand.
I just can't be thankful enough. And so I was talking to Scott, and I go, you know what? We need to have a segment, Homage to Hef. In other words, we still mourn our boss. You know what I mean? And if you could say anything to Hef now, what would you say?
Oh my God, he's probably heard it 1,000 times, but he changed my life. He made I don't know where I would be right now or what I would be doing if it wasn't for him choosing me to be in that magazine, and not even further than choosing me to be in the magazine, gifting me a licensing contract for all the intellectual property and trademarks of the magazine and him and everything else to put in my artwork.
See, people don't know that he did that kind of stuff.
He did that, but my story
is
for
you personally.
Well, me personally, but he did this type of thing for everybody. I mean, he extended himself. But what he did, I'm the only artist ever to receive this licensing contract, and I had a global contract. I could go in, do it anywhere in the world, which is a multi-million-dollar contract. And, he pushed that for me. I don't think the executives wanted me to have that license. And he said, yeah, she's getting the license.
Yes.
And it was a 3-year contract. It extended 11 years. I finally did actually stop using the license because I really, it was there to launch my career. It launched my career. And I wanted to, spread my wings further than just being the Playboy artist, which was a really great thing. But it set my career on fire. And no other artist has ever received anything close to that, ever. So.
Well, I think that says it all.
Yeah, and I never slept with him, by the way.
Yeah.
We were friends. That's a misconception.
For the record, Brian.
Oh, no, I've never slept with him either.
You were in the bedroom a lot, though.
I think I know too much about that bedroom.
No, that's a misconception. That's why I said that's so funny. But it's a misconception that's what the Playmates is, not what the Playmates is.
That's those urban legends that people love to share.
That was bull.
I mean, he made a lot of his girlfriends Playmates, but he wasn't necessarily, the Playmates weren't his dating
correct
pool.
Well, Victoria, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for letting us be a part of it. I'm excited that we've got a whole future ahead of us. We are now Rogue Bunnies Mayhem. The Mayhem is back.
Rogue Mayhem. What's better than Rogue and Mayhem?
My drink's getting low, so I think it's time to refill.
We have to take a break whenever that happens.
Once again, for everyone listening, how does everyone get hooked up with Rogue Bunnies?
So if you want to be a part of our community, go ahead and go to roguebunnies.com, ROGUE, roguebunnies.com, and get in the game.
Thank you, Victoria Fuller. Everybody, Victoria Fuller.
Thank you. Thank you,
and I'm Scott Ramsay.
I'm Brian Olea. You're Mr. Mayhem. And
the mayhem continues.